Good morning, my beautiful people. This is a lovely day. Please come with me. Let's bake one of the most delicious ever cake. A pineapple upside down cake. I promised you this cake is gonna be the center of any party or get together that you have. So the first thing that I did was to prepare the caramel by putting directly the sugar on the baking pan and heat the sugar. Should never stop mixing. Keep mixing so the sugar does not burn. This is the consistency or the color that I'm looking for. The sugar is not burnt, it's light brown like gold. So keep mixing, and then after I have to add the boiling water. But at this stage, be careful because the water with the hot sugar is gonna generate a very hot steam you can burn. Make sure that when you do this process from the beginning until the end of the caramel, please you are wearing gloves. The sugar can burn. Allow the sugar and the hot water to boil so that the sugar can dissolve. Once all the sugar is completely dissolved and mixed well with the water, is when we can take out our caramel. And then aside, you prepare the pineapples. You cut the pineapples in thin slices and remove the hard center. The hard center shouldn't go to the cake. Then after the caramel is completely cold, that I'm able to touch the pan, I'm gonna place the pineapple rings inside the pan. But first in this stage, I forgot to grease the pan, the parts where there's no caramel. It should be greased. If I'm greasing the center now, and then I'm greasing the sides of the pan. Where there's no caramel, we should have butter. It's better to use a butter like this than use a spray, because the spray is gonna also go to the caramel and you don't want that. So then after I greased the pan, I put the pineapple rings all over the caramel and around. After we've prepared our pan, now we can start and mix our ingredients. We put on the blender 2 cups of sugar, and you're gonna add the 6 eggs. So you're going to use the blender. It's the easiest and quicker way to do this cake, but also if you want, you prefer, you can use the mixer. Even if you don't have the mixer as well, you can just mix with your hands. This cake, it doesn't really need a lot of air inside, so you can use a blender. You can do by your own hands with a whisker. Anyway, it will work. We also add the oil and the vanilla in the blender, and you continue blend for more 1 minute. So while the wet ingredients are mixing in the blender, we're going to prepare the flour. In this case, we have 3 3/4 cup of cake flour. We're going to put 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of pineapple jelly. And we're going to sift it. Yes, we're also going to add 1.5 cup of milk in the blender. Mix a bit, and then we're gonna take all these wet ingredients and mix with the dry ingredients. Mix well. You must make sure all the lumps are out. So after we've mixed our ingredients very well, we transfer the mixture to the baking pan, and the remaining pieces of pineapple we put on top of the mixture, and then we're going to bake. So the oven is set to 180 degrees Celsius, and we're going to bake for approximately 50 minutes or to 1 hour. But before we remove the pan from the oven, you're going to insert a bamboo stick and check if the bamboo stick comes dry. If it's not dry, the cake's not ready. Put the cake until it's dry. So after 1 hour, the cake was ready. I removed the cake from the oven and turned the pan upside down, and the room was smelling yummy. The combination of the aroma of the caramel and pineapple, it took me to a wonderful place.